What's up, guys? Welcome to our first ever. This is actually our second movie review we ever did. Because the first one we ever did was Civil War.
Civil. Holy
You're
right, dude. Our first video ever on the channel was Civil War.
Yeah. So as you guys know, we're both huge Godzilla fans. So next week, Godzilla vs Kong is releasing on Wednesday.
Let's go, baby.
Get hype
Central.
So as a little special treat for our viewers and listeners, we will be reviewing every Monsterverse film this week, leading up to Godzilla vs Kong. And today, we're starting with Godzilla 2014, which is directed by Gareth Edwards. And
the origins, the start of the legendary line of movies, I guess.
We're going to jump right into it. So, you watched it last night, right?
I did. I fell asleep right at the end of it.
Yeah, I was.
Because I finished it at midnight, and I was like drifting off. I was like,
yeah, I was dozing off. I hate the movie. I was just dozing off. I was tired last night.
Yeah. I see. So the last time I watched it was probably like a couple years ago. I think. Yeah, it's probably like a year or 2 years ago. It was the last time I watched 2014, and I think my opinion on it depends on how I'm watching this movie. If I'm watching this movie purely to watch Godzilla, it's pretty good. I think it's like a lot, like the style of it is a lot different. But if I'm watching it from like I'm like analyzing the script of it and I'm analyzing the story of it, the first like part of the movie is super strong, right?
Yeah.
It has a nice lead up. It has strong characters, the whole thing, and then when it gets into its like second act, it goes way downhill. And I think it's really like, what is the main character's guy's name is?
Ford?
It's Ford, but what is the actor's name?
Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, so Aaron Taylor Johnson is, I don't know if this is a poorly written character or what, but I don't know. He's so
monotone.
Monotone. There's, he's super very, very subtle.
Yeah.
And like throughout the entire movie, and like the kind of like the theme of it, what I was trying to get through the movie was he is supposed to make up for his dad's failures. He is supposed to learn from his father's failures, not to be over obsessive, and it's supposed to be. I think the meaning of this movie is, family, like take care of your family, like be there. Family is more important than others, whatever. And he like kind of like dives into a lot of like just going to war and kind of like avoiding, stuff like this, just running away from his like past. And it kind of, I don't know, it's just like he's just boring.
I understand.
He's super. He just doesn't. I don't know. He reads really
probably
like dry and plain.
Yeah, I that was a common criticism when it first came out. So. Yeah, for me, like, I don't know the last time I watched this. Because I was thinking, did I watch this before Kotham came out? I don't think I did. I think it's when you straight up watch King of the Monsters.
That's probably when I did rewatch it. It was when we watched Koto.
I don't think I remember watching it. So, this movie's actually pretty nostalgic for me, oddly. 2014 was a good year. I remember being hyped for this movie. I was super hyped for this freaking movie. But yeah, I was going back and it's like, so first I'm starting with the story beats and stuff like, yeah, I agreed. Bryan Cranston is probably the best human character. The first act was fantastic, dude.
Nails the shit out of it.
The first act is really good. Him trying to find his wife, you feel bad for her. Like, dude, he had to like close the door on her and all those people. You see the people knocking on the door.
His obsession with his like, he comes super obsessed.
Yeah.
Pushes his family to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I guess we should say like spoilers. Like this is like it's a 2014 movie, but like yes, these movie reviews are all going to be completely spoiler central. So, fair warning. So when his wife dies, he becomes super impulsive. He just overly obsessive, puts his family to the wayside. I mean, his son moves to America, joins the U.S. Army. He stays in Japan, and he's just on the fucking hunt.
Had they implied, had he seen his grandson before?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a line in it.
Yeah,
he
like made him in the house.
His grandson would like to meet his grandfather, something like that. I don't think he's ever met him.
He's like, is he like 3 now? I'm like, no, he's 5. Yeah, so like, did he meet him over like a FaceTime call or something, or what? Because it's like it's really
No,
like
I doubt it.
he probably never met him before. But yeah, like
So
Bryan Cranston, the first act was, I think the first act was fantastic. I think it's really good. Yeah, I wish when Bryan Cranston dies, it's so weird choice. Like the strongest character in the movie, he just dies like that. Then we left with Aaron Taylor Johnson, and
no, I mean it makes. So like yeah, that was always a big complaint was like him dying. Everyone was always like, oh yeah, the movie sucks after he dies because Bryan Cranston's character Joe was such a strong character, and Bryan Cranston's character, he was just nailing it.
Mm-hmm.
He nailed it out of the park, and that character was pretty well written. He was pretty fleshed out, right? He had one objective.
Most interesting story too.
And then when he died, he wasn't even supposed to be that big of a character. He is supposed to be a sacrificial lamb for Ford. So Ford can learn from his mistakes. It's kind of like like learn from me. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Go to your family. That's important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he dies off, and then we go into Ford, which is this kind of wheat bread, just boring as watching paint dry.
Like when it first came out, I thought Ford was and I watched it again. He's all right. It ain't bad as I remember. I never hated him. He was just boring. But this time he's like, he wants to.
I know. I don't know if
the
actor. Yeah, he has zero emotion. Emotions. You can't read the character at all.
He gets the job done though, and like he cares for his family. I think it's more about emotions he lack. Like this weird soldier just wants to go home and take care of his family.
You don't even like even like when he like calls home to like Elizabeth Olsen, which is also. This is super weird because they do play brother and sister in Avengers. When
came out the same year too. No, the year afterwards they got a movie together. Avengers. Yeah.
So when I was watching this, Adriana came home. She's like, "Why is WandaVision? That's with her brother." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, these are the same characters." She was a way stronger character, and she was a side character in this movie.
Super side line.
I'm assuming his lines were just. It's either because like
he was a video game
Avengers,
character.
So,
here, point. Go here. Do this.
He's supposed to be lived through. Yeah, you live through that character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, plain wheat bread character. I don't know if the Jonathan Taylor is just a boring actor, or the character was just wrote very boring.
Probably that.
Either way, it just did not read well. It's just very too subtle.
Other than Quicksilver and Kick-Ass, that's the only thing I know from him.
Well, when he was Quicksilver, he's like very subtle and not very. Is Quicksilver supposed to be a lively character, right?
He's supposed to be an asshole. Yeah, that's his character.
Yeah, I didn't really even read like that when I was watching Avengers. So I think it just might be him.
Just might be him.
Just not a very good actor, or not for like very emotional roles like. What I feel like Ford should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's kind of switch over. I really want to talk about the tone because Gareth Edwards nails it. Absolutely nails. This is I want to put 2014 in its own, almost like in its league of its own with Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla, 1954 Godzilla and 2014 are all horror Godzillas.
Yeah, no, okay. Let's pen that. What the heck?
Oh.
Bryan?
Oh, what's up, Bryan? Welcome to the...
Bryan, you're missing the layout here.
Oh.
Yeah, you missing the layout. Oh my god.
It's okay.
There we go. That was funny.
That was what.
What else?
So yeah, I just want to talk about the tone.
Yeah, like I say, pin that because I know that you saw it this morning. You said it a few weeks ago too. I don't understand what you mean by this is a horror movie. I don't see that at all.
Oh, you don't, dude?
No.
It's such a horror movie.
Really?
Look, like even like one things he does really well, and I absolutely love it. Well, there's two things. The music is definitely horror-esque. It is high. So let's take for example the Halo scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that scene not scare the shit out of you?
No.
Dude, it's
It's more
the
ominous
colors
than scary.
ominous. It's ominous is scary, bro. It scares the shit out of me. So they jump out. They have the red flares on a gray and whitish and black background, and it's a really wide shot of them falling into just
San
looks like the
Francisco.
pit of hell.
Yeah.
There's lightning swelling, clouds are like swirling around. I mean, and then you just have this large symphony of like it's terrifying, bro. It's absolutely terrifying. And then you do a POV shot of them like falling through, and then Godzilla. There's no sound between them.
Is that
There's no
muffled
sound.
Like,
There's no sound between the Muto and Godzilla just clashing together. It's pure horror cinema.
so good.
It
With Martin
you have to admit it is a Godzilla horror movie at its finest.
I don't think it's a Godzilla horror movie, but it's shot well. I don't think it's a horror movie.
There's also a lot of shots of perspectives where he was really trying to emphasize like how big these creatures are to a human. So there's a ton of shots where you're looking from a window outward and you see this thing. You can tell that you're in a skyscraper and you're seeing the top of the head of a creature.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of shots where they're going down to up, and it's definitely conveying. He's doing a lot of POV shots of conveying that you're an ant to this thing. And even like the way like the Mutos and how Godzilla even moves around in the city and stuff, you are ants. You do not bother him. You are just like there. He is a chess piece. You are the board.
Shut up. No.
I don't know. Was that sounding condescending or not?
No. No, that makes sense. Yeah. So all those points, there's a lot of things I gotta bring up from what you said because I agree. Or certain points you said. Like first, the music. I missed the soundtrack for this movie. First, I didn't care for it. So overall tone, I missed. Like it's because it's funny. How we see like Skull Island, the spoilers, or Godzilla King of the Monsters, and most likely Godzilla versus Kong. How the tone just shift. This like a. I hate to say it. This is like the Dark Knight of Godzilla movies, which he wanted to be, and you can see that. How it's like
I think
serious.
Look, Gareth had a huge responsibility on him.
Yeah. He
had to make a good Godzilla franchise. He was restoring the balance.
Yeah, he said that. Like he said this was a huge weight on him. He knew it was important.
Yeah, because dude, that is like an iconic, if not the iconic like star of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Bro, it's Godzilla. It's like he is literally one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic star. And like you can't mess it up. It's not like they took a huge risk of buying that property from Toho, or not buying from, but getting the rights. And then they put all that into him, and then they gave him a massive budget, and he's like, I cannot let them down. Like I cannot mess this up. And he did. I mean,
he was supposed to do the sequel, but I'm actually glad he didn't do the sequel. Not he's a bad director or anything.
What was the sequel supposed to be?
King of the Monsters. That was the sequel. He was supposed to do that. But he left to do Star Wars. He didn't have much time to do it.
What did he direct? Wait,
which Star Wars did he? He did Rogue One.
Ah, shit. That's why I like Rogue One so much.
Yeah. But no. To get on topic. Yeah. Because I watched the articles and read what's called audio commentaries and stuff. He got inspired from like Jaws and Aliens. How Godzilla is portrayed in the movie. Like you see him when Godzilla, and every time I still stand by this. Every time Godzilla appears, it's like, oh my god, it's him, and it cuts.
Yeah. It has.
It builds build up.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
And even like with the shots, he has does swelling well with the tone, the music, and then the shot of just building this huge. Godzilla looks so heavy.
Yeah, he
for
does.
some reason.
The airport
and
scene,
it's just the way it's shot. He looks
it.
extremely heavy.
Yeah, like the airport scene. So now you say horror. That's the only point that didn't scare me anything, but I can get the sense of horror is the airport scene when he first showed his face, and like you see the move to a roar and the explosion. Then you see the people in the airport. You see the glass and they're looking at the explosion and Muda. Then you see Godzilla's foot. If you notice the characters, they all freeze and get quiet completely. They're like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Then Godzilla builds up. And he does his roar and it cuts. That's perfect right there. I would argue the cut though, which you're gonna talk about, but yeah, that tone right there is straight up perfect. That's what I understand from the horror film. And you feel the weight from Godzilla when he did a stomp.
Also, another horror, with the Chinese lanterns going stringing across.
Yeah.
There's that scene where you kind of just see like Godzilla kind of moving, and then it goes into pitch black darkness.
And the lightning.
And you can, it's just black, right?
Yeah.
There's no sound in the scene. And actually, in college, I took that scene and added sound to everything.
Oh, that's right.
There's an absence of sound to build that intense, like, frozen moment. Because Ford is standing there waiting for this, him to emerge from the darkness. And he's just frozen. And he, like, the only thing you hear is, like, your own heartbeat. And so you only see just Godzilla's tail like swing from like you see it swirl back from out the darkness. There's no sound at all, and you just see him creep forward, right?
Yeah.
And then you just
he's looking at
shoulders
Ford
to
too,
hands, and then he does his roar, and then that's when all the sound just comes flowing
back.
through when Godzilla decides to make sound again.
Yeah.
That's when you snap out of it.
No, like this movie, like it's a great movie. I like this movie.
No, yeah, it's absolutely a great movie.
But it's like some weird choices he does. But because I was watching it last night, like that, I never hated this movie. It was like, okay, I get it, but it's not what I would do. But the more I watch it every single time, like last night, I enjoyed watching this movie last night.
It's different.
Yeah, it's
from,
different.
Like the Toho movies.
Because
at the end, towards the end of the Toho life cycle, it was nothing serious. It was all markable films. It was like action packed.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Final Wars was the last movie.
Yeah.
And Final Wars compared to 2014 is like
crack.
night and day.
Yeah.
It's completely two different films.
Yeah.
And before that, I mean, it was just kind of like the almost like throwaway Godzilla films in a way, where it was like they were trying to capture like blockbuster and that I like to call it the extreme era, because everything between like 1999 to like 2006 had to be extreme. Everything had to be extreme. Like,
yeah.
Triple X got made, Fast and the Furious. Everything had to be made like extreme.
Yeah, back to Godzilla, did the cuts bother you?
Like the scene cuts? I never noticed anything that like jarred me out. Of
the airport, because people jumped to the airport scene. Godzilla appears, and the build was fantastic. Then it just cuts.
Because they were...
Yeah.
Those are pretty bad, because those are definitely like budget constraints. They didn't have time. There's a lot of shots in the movie where they're cutting away and they're showing them like a lot of like fight scenes
on TV
from
screens.
like a second screen.
That wasn't a good budget thing. That was his choice. That was Gary Abdul's choice. He said in director's commentary. Yeah, that's his choice, because he wanted to replicate that jaw.
No,
exactly.
There's no way, bro.
Yeah,
because
he
would have cut out like 4 fight scenes.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to do that. He wanted to make because every time you watch the last fight, it's always worth it. He got inspired by Jaws, because you didn't really see Jaws in the original film.
So he wanted to have like a huge build up towards the end.
Yeah,
to really go full canon.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
I guess that makes sense.
But
because that's a choice. I was just assuming that there were budget cuts.
No, it was
that
never
he was
budget
like,
cuts.
well, we don't have the budget for this, but we could do a low poly,
No.
CGI scene.
That was all director's choice. He did it like that.
Oh.
He wants you to be like, I want more and more, and it pays off at the end.
then the only scene I can say that I would be like, oh, I want more and more is like the scene where like Godzilla or Elizabeth Olsen's character is being pushed onto the tank thing, and the doors are slowly shutting, and you just see Godzilla like standing there, and he's
grabs some Udo.
Yeah, it's like super illuminated because the sky is like gray, and he is like a full on black character, and then he's outlined perfectly. Because that's like one of the few times you could see Godzilla like out in the daylight, and then you see the doors kind of slowly shut. That scene had me like wishing more and more, which I guess that makes sense because it's in the middle of the film. I guess I
keep going back to the tone though, because it's like as they watching the films that came afterward, and you see this movie, like it's got God. Not that It's just so weird how this one was different in tone. It was a serious movie.
No, that's what I keep, and that's what I always go back to, man. It's definitely it's a horror movie.
Then you look at like spoiler alert, but King of the Monsters and Skull Island, they were completely different tones. Even now, like, yeah, I'll talk about it later. But it's like I don't hate the changing. It's just like it's so weird. Then you see what's going on in King of the Monsters. I mean, God vs. Kong. If you don't know what's happening, I won't spoil it though. But you see something in that movie, and you see this like that exists in this world. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's so weird.
Because those are more blockbuster films, and they're going in a different direction. Garrett Edwards' Godzilla is almost like an art piece.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking about that last night. This is not a blockbuster movie. It says Godzilla.
No,
but
this is like movie. A horror art piece movie. This is like kind of like his like Get Out or something. It's like you're dealing with these giant monsters, which
they feel like animals too. By the way, I love that about that.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not concerned on what we're doing in our daily lives or anything. We're not even affecting them. It's not even like we're shooting anything out of them. The only time like Godzilla is even remotely affected is when the building falls on him.
And I was thinking, there isn't really a antagonist with this movie. It's just animals being animals, one something the other, nature.
Restoring balance.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. What's up?
I want to say like that's probably where this movie kind of falls apart, is because there's not really it's not interlinking between Ford and his problems and then what's going on with Godzilla and the Mutos. There's not a lot of fight scenes, so you're not really getting you're not getting a Godzilla film, and then there's not a lot of like great acting, so you're not really getting a 1954 film. So it's a weird mix.
It's a solid film.
You're not really getting best of both worlds, or kind of getting half and half.
It does things good enough. That's how I can say it. Like the movie is super solid. That's all. It's not great. It's not bad. I
think the aesthetics of it is what really like drives it home for me.
There's something there though. Yeah, like last night I was like, I missed this tone completely. Like it was so weird watching. Like, oh my god, I forgot how dark this was and how quote unquote realistic it was compared to the future films, and I miss it. But the overall film is just super solid. It never exceed that. And years ago I said the same thing, and still watching it last night. It has its issues and it has some great things too. But I don't want to say it feels safe, because it's not safe. But it feels like
it's not safe. But it feels.
It's just so solid.
It feels like that for the tone of it. It feels right.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it works so well.
Yeah. Like it could have been a standalone. Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been. He could have done like 3 movies of this.
I don't think he could. With the theme, I think
just like a horror genre.
I don't
Godzilla.
think he. I don't think he could.
That.
Yeah, because it gets more crazy when you introduce these monsters. Like you got to get Doris.
Imagine this: Garrett Edwards doing like a Destroyer. Godzilla vs. Destroy. Dude, he can nail that.
I don't know. I don't hate him.
I could see him even doing like a Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, I can see him doing a Shin Godzilla, but not like
but like
he's him doing like Gigan and Rodan and Mothra.
No, I couldn't see. I couldn't see him do. I mean, maybe Rodan. Because Rodan's so similar to Mutos.
Because it's like he was planning for the sequel, but he dropped it off, and I'm glad he didn't do that. I'm glad we got different takes, of Big G, and yeah. that's pretty much how I feel about the movie. In my opinion, it's been just the same constantly. And I already watched it, even though it's nostalgic watching it. It's kind of the same. It's an okay, solid movie. And
that's what I'm saying, man.
Too,
like, you don't get.
I didn't watch the 4K version. And by the way, speaking of that, I think my 4K TV. I've been had this since 2014.
That's a nice sleeve you got there for it.
You know how like bad it is? It's old.
Oh, it looks like it looked almost like plastic wrapped.
You think yours is not like this? How do you got yours?
I think mine just came in the case. I don't think I even got the sleeve for it.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure how this works, but I think my TV kind of upscaled it a little bit. Does it work like that?
Really?
My 4K TV?
I don't know. It's a possibility.
I don't know.
I mean, it's playing in 1080p, but it probably got stretched out into, your TV. It's pretty big. I mean, what was the size of the TV you watched it on last? Probably not
32
that big.
inch. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why.
It wasn't as dark as I remember. Remember, this is the bad port.
No, mine wasn't that dark either.
Yeah.
Maybe but I also watched mine on like a 65-inch 4K.
That's how I was at.
So pretty good.
That'd be awesome, dude.
I like watching dude, King of Monsters smacks because that's the only 4K movie I have on it. Watching Ghidorah, like fucking hell yeah, man! Hit them roars.
Oh man,
nice. So by the way, I'm actually getting Shin Godzilla in Blu-ray finally tomorrow. I don't know what that.
No.
What?
You did it?
No, I had to borrow yours. I have it on DVD, which is disgusting. Because like when Shin Godzilla came out, I could only find it on DVD.
We're getting off topic though, but it's 27
yeah,
minutes.
We're getting the weeds.
So as a reminder, guys, that's pretty much. So you like the movie? What do you think of it?
Yeah, overall? Dude, I love 2014. It's very special to me because it is it stands out from a lot of Godzilla films, and I think I would love to see more horror-esque Godzilla. I mean, I think those go really hand in hand.
Yeah, same.
Because I mean, Godzilla. You could put Godzilla in pretty much anything, though, and I think you can make it work, honestly.
It's like Superman. That's how Superman works, too. You just throw him in the character and do a story around
Maybe not a rom-com.
A rom-com Godzilla movie?
No. You could put a Godzilla in a rom-com. Mothra?
Stop it. Yeah, same. The movie is special to me. It came at a special time. And that was but I graduate high school and all that stuff.
You want to know something embarrassing? When I first saw 2014, I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. So I made my mom watch the trailer like 3 times. I'm like, look how cool this is. I had no one to talk to. And I was sitting there in my room so excited and no one to tell.
No one.
And I was like, I wasn't really on Twitter. And I mean, I didn't really even know there was like G fans out there. And I was so excited. I was like, all right, I gotta make my mom watch it. I'm like, Mom, check this out. Look at this. Look at this. And I was like, look at the Halo scene.
Dude, I watched the trailer
that Halo scene had me so. Halo scene is like almost a perfect scene.
That that's probably the most watched trailer I've seen ever. The 2014 Godzilla movie. I've seen a trailer like when I woke up, when I went to lunch, and when I went to sleep, I watched it. I'm not even exaggerating. This movie was hype when it was coming out. Bro. Nothing would top that. The closest thing was probably Infinity War. The last time I was that hype for a movie. But this is the first of the Monsterverse reviews. So this week we'll be doing the other Monsterverse films, which tonight we'll be watching Skull Island. You're watching it tonight, right?
Oh, I guess I gotta watch it tonight. God.
Yeah, you gotta review it tomorrow.
Yuck.
Yeah, I haven't watched this movie in forever, so I can't.
We watched it. We watched it together. I think that was the last time I watched it. It was in theaters with you when it came out.
Yeah. I haven't watched this forever, so yeah, let's do something interesting, and we will post that review up Saturday. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So it was Saturday. So look forward to that, guys. Hope you like this Monsterverse Godzilla 2014 review. Give us a like, share, subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm on twitter.com/TayInfinite or Instagram_TayInfinite. You can find Jordan at where you at, Jordan?
You're getting there, buddy. You'll get it.
Yeah, you get it.
Guys, you can follow me at cyber_calamity at Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitch at cybercalamity.
Sweet.
But guys, thanks so much, and we'll see you guys here again sometime this week.
You can get a lot of content this week, actually.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot. So this is the first of 3 videos that we're gonna do, leading up to GVK, which we will also be reviewing. Which, God, let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready. GVK, here we come. This is the first of many. So guys, stick around, get ready, get the popcorn out, get hype with us. Stick around the channel. Give us a like, give us a follow. We do appreciate it. If you dislike this video, dislike it. If you like it, like it. And yeah, let's go. Let's go on, man.